I can't get the 1949 Dodgers to win. Now, I'm dead serious, and honestly, I'm having a hard time figuring out why. And here, I'll show you an example. So, the Dodgers were in St. Louis on June 16th, 1949, here in my 1949 replay. This was the last game of a 3-game series. Now, in real life, the team split the first 2 games of this series. Brooklyn was in first place by 2 games, and there were almost 29,000 people there for the rubber game of this series. Now, that was significant because this was a weekday in St. Louis at Sportsman's Park, so it wasn't a huge ballpark, but to have that many people there on a working day, on a weekday, really was something. St. Louis won the game 6-2, and that meant that there was only 1 game separating the 2 teams in one of the greatest seasons in National League history. But Diamond Mine Baseball has been nothing like that for me. The Dodgers and Cardinals are both way out of first place, and the Dodgers right now are on a major losing streak, 5 in a row coming into this game. I don't know if I'm doing something wrong or not, I just know that they can't win. The Dodgers started off well. Jackie Robinson drove in the first run in the top of the 3rd. Robinson drove in another in the top of the 5th, and followed that up with a 3rd RBI in the top of the 7th. Now, St. Louis added a run early and then another one in the bottom of the 7th. This one was on a bases-loaded walk by starter Irv Pališa. Now, you're probably wondering why I would start Pališa in a game like this. Well, it's because I have to start somebody. I can't just start Don Newcomb and Ralph Branca every single game. And as you've probably guessed, pitching has been Brooklyn's weakness. That fits in with real life, by the way. If we look at the good old Domination Index, we see that the 1949 Dodgers had one of the best offenses in National League history. Oh yeah, this Domination Index is something you might know as the SD score. It measures the number of standard deviations away from the league average any team's runs scored and runs allowed totals were. I took this idea, blatantly stole it actually, from a book by Rob Neyer and Eddie Epstein called Baseball Dynasties. That book now is, almost 25 years old. That's a great book about the greatest teams of all time, but it's a little bit dated. Now, if you want to play around with these numbers, check out my blog. Paying members on the blog have access to this spreadsheet that I'm using here. Anyway, the 1949 Dodgers wind up ranking as the 19th most dominant team in National League history, according to this measure. If you look only at their offensive statistics, only the runs scored side of the equation, they rank as the 14th most dominant offensive team in National League history. Now, this is out of 1,413 teams, by the way, so yeah, that's pretty significant. But pitching. Pitching is the key, and pitching is their weak point. Look at this. Nippy Jones almost hit a grand slam home run right after the Dodgers put in a reliever. And then it all fell apart for Brooklyn in the bottom of the 9th. First, it was an error by Pee Wee Reese. And then it was Eddie Kozak beating out an infield grounder. Nippy Jones, whose walk tied the game, lofted a sacrifice fly to right field, and this game went into overtime. Now, I've criticized Diamond Mine Baseball a lot over the past few months. There are a lot of issues with the computer manager's logic, but this one I just can't explain. We were in the bottom of the 12th inning of a 3-3 tie game. Good old Joe Garagiola, we've talked about him before, was on first base, and Chuck Deering came up to bat. Deering wasn't bad in real life, but he's hitting only 190 for St. Louis in this replay and is having a real rough time. Deering, however, hits well against lefties. He does not hit well against righties. But the computer manager decided to take Rex Barney, a right-handed relief pitcher, out of the game. In his place, they put in Joe Hatton, left-handed pitcher, to face Deering. Now take a look at this. Hatton doesn't do well against right-handed batters. Deering, a right-handed batter, feasts off left-handed pitching. Now, I know that the Dodgers didn't have a lot of options in the bullpen, but seriously, why not leave Barney in? He had 30-something pitches. Anyway, Deering walked on 4 straight pitches. After another out was made, up came Red Schoendienst with 2 men out. He hit a single, and that won the ball game. Cardinals win this one 4-3 in 12 innings. And, well, there you have it. See, it's not just me. Even the computer manager can't figure out what it needs to do to get these Dodgers to win.